Oh my god, corporate America. Sit down. Listen, this is a story and a half. Get over it. Who let these people in charge? Who? Who? Do you like the hat, though? Be honest. Who let corporate America be a thing? Listen, we need to overthrow some people. It's time to eat the rich. But tell me I don't look great as a man. Okay? Just tell me I don't. It's weird not being stressed. Also, like, I'm doing this every single day. Just for the fun of it. I've been updating my Etsy page like crazy. I'm actually getting stuff done. Also, check it out. Help a girl out here. I'm not here to pressure you into buying stuff. I'm just letting you know it's there. I was pushed to be like this. Microphone stand is double as a fan because I'm just bougie like that. I'm not trying to do a strip tease, but I think that's what's happening. Sorry to interrupt so soon, but my mic died while I was trying to set up context for this video, so here I am. Your subconscious. So basically, new management took over for our store, like upper management, and they wreaked havoc through the region's stores. And our manager, who was the most fantastic human being you could ever meet, was essentially bullied into quitting by our new district manager. Yeah, she had worked at this store and managed it for over 20 years, and this new guy was so awful to her that she quit in the 6 months he had been working. So there you go. Context. Where was I? Oh, I don't even remember when the fantastic manager left. Um, but essentially, he what's his face? The DM wanted to hold a meeting. Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. We were going to hold a meeting to discuss what we were going to do moving forward because we just lost the best person on planet Earth, and so we were trying to figure out when we wanted to hold the meeting. And then the new manager who had taken over, she wanted to invite the district manager basically to explain himself, which I was on board for that. Like, yeah, come explain yourself. Because this is entirely his fault that this happened in the first place. So we're trying to figure out what day. And we were wanting to do like a Saturday or like a weekday when we were all working. No, I can only do Sunday. Sunday is a horrible day because the majority of us staff are off on Sunday. So now we have to give up our day off to come into work. Or, like me, I was working a 7 to 3:30 shift, which meant that I would literally get off of work. I would be home for about 2 hours and I'd have to turn around and go back to the store for this meeting at like 6:30. I showed up in my pajamas. I showed up looking worse than this because it was more convenient for him, not what was convenient for literally the entire team. If that shows you what kind of person he is. Anyway, we go into this meeting, and right off the bat, I know it's gonna suck. Sorry, my arm cuff just came off. I know it's gonna suck. Like, whatever is gonna come out of his mouth is going to be the most diabolical things you could possibly imagine. And I was right. Right off the bat. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. I was just so blind with rage. He was like, I would like to address what happened. So, he basically starts off by saying nothing is his fault, that our manager didn't order a truck to be delivered to our store. There are certain days where you have to order the truck for the products to come in. Basically, what he said is she didn't order the truck, and then instead of facing the repercussions of not putting in the order, she quit and ran away. We knew that this wasn't true because some of us had seen the truck order. She had ordered the truck. He was lying and was trying to write her up and get her in trouble. And so instead of taking his bullshit anymore, she said, all right, I'm done. Because he was trying to get her to come in and basically get on like a Zoom call with him so that way he could berate her. And she went, no, I'm done. Yeah, as she should. As she should. And he freaked out. We weren't there when she had quit. The majority of us, like, we were not there. We didn't know. Some of us had heard him freaking out the next day trying to figure out why she quit. He genuinely didn't know. He was freaking out and he couldn't figure it out. And so now he's trying to say that he knew. No, he didn't. He's trying to make up all these lies. about how she was a liar when we knew for a fact that wasn't true. Also, he's trying to tell, like, I had only known this manager, this fantastic manager, for maybe 5 months at this point, and even I knew that what he was trying to spout was bullshit. But he was also trying to tell people that she was a liar when some of these people had worked with this woman for over 20 years. And now he's trying to say he's a liar and a cheat, essentially. And everyone's like, we all looked at each other while he was talking, like, is this man for real? Anyway, that happened. And then so our store, whenever you make a transaction, you have to ask, like, would you like to round up blah, blah, blah. You know how some places they ask you to round up for, like, a hospital or something, or for actually, like, a good cause. Anyway, he started talking about the roundups and how we're, like, the lowest roundup store that exists because we're the smallest store. We do get a lot of traffic, but not as much as, like, the actual cities. We're a small town out in the middle of nowhere. And he goes, I understand that, but in the business world, we call that an excuse. It's so funny because when we had performed fantastic, the store was performing fantastic, but for some reason, whenever the new district manager showed up, suddenly all of our stuff began to plummet. Isn't that weird? Essentially, he essentially just called us pathetic for the next hour, and how we weren't trying hard enough. Call us pathetic in front. That's the type of people that have taken charge of this company. There was no reason for any of his behavior. I'm out here acting like I got money to spend. I just ordered pizza, moved you over to the kitchen so I can eat. I've also taken off the nose because it's itchy. Finishing up on the meeting. After he bashed our manager, he then talked about the former CEO, who had worked there for 30 years, who was fantastic. I mean, the stores were fantastic. They were up and running. They had fantastic people coming in. The employees were great. There was a flow. Good things were happening. This motherfucker bashed the CEO, the former CEO, who had just left. The reason that the former CEO left is because he literally said this, I want to prioritize my family. Genuine, kind-hearted man. This isn't some, like, corporate leader who has his boot on everybody's throat. The former CEO was a good man. He just wanted to be with his family because he had dedicated so much of his time to the company to make it flow as well as it did. And so he left. And this motherfucker, the district manager who came in, started bashing him. And saying how, he's stuck in the old days, and so his methods of running the store just didn't work, and so we're coming in to make it better. He was saying stuff like this, and, like, he didn't really know how to run the place. And now this motherfucker coming in, who has been nothing but rude, and is dragging this poor man through the mud. Another thing, when what's-his-face took over, he made the policy where, like, he walked into the store and he's like, it looks awful in here. Well, he didn't say it like that, but he was like, it does not look right in here. We have to change all this. Which right off the bat, when a new person takes over and says something like that, you know what they're about to do is gonna be shit. Which it was. This mother fricker. So on the walls of our store, every wall was decorated. You walked in and there were, like, mannequins up on the wall, and each wall had, like, a theme. So you would have, like, a beach theme, you would have other themes, and it was just nice. You walked in and it felt homey when you went. It was a good vibe. Not anymore. Because this mother trucker made us take down everything off the walls until it was blank. So we had to take down all of the mannequins and we had to sell them. I actually own 2 right now. Made us take everything off the walls until they were blank and sad. And that's the thing, is he wanted us to do this to make the store, he wanted to make all of the stores look the same. That was his ration. That's literally what he said. Okay, first of all, why would you want that? So we had to take everything down. We had to sell all the mannequins. I had to leave the walls blank. So when you walked in, it looked like you were walking into a Walmart because it was just bright. All the walls were white and bare. Everything was boring. That was all his idea. And the customers hated it. The customers, they let us know how disgusting the store looked. They let us know daily. And I agreed with him. I said, I know. And they're like, isn't there something like you could do about that? And I'm like, honey, you're going to have to contact, and I would tell them, you're going to have to contact corporate because they don't listen to us. I said that. I started saying that. After what's-his-face threw a fit and was like, take everything off the walls because it'll make the store look better. We didn't even make it a month before he was like, this looks like shit. Why did you do that? This motherfucker literally threw a fit over his own actions. So then but here's the thing. He threw a fit over the walls being bare, which he had requested. And then he was like, well, no, I don't want you to I want you to decorate them again. So we had to decorate them again, minus the mannequins. We changed them back. We decorated the walls, and we made them I'm joking. We made them look vibrant again, as vibrant as we could. And then, because we missed our mannequins, this lasted for a couple months. And then the motherfucker came back in and said, no, why did you put things on the walls? Change it. So this motherfucker changed his mind again and blamed us for it. So we took everything off the walls. And I'm trying to think, before I left, I think he complained again. Yeah, because then after we did it again, he complained again that the walls were bare. And so then we had to change it back. And then I left. So I don't know what's going on with that right now. He changed his mind like 4 times. If you just left it the way it was before, it might have worked. Also, at this point in the video, if I haven't said it, I work for Goodwill. Goodwill is doing all of this. Horrible company to work for. I don't care. Look at me. Look me in the eyes the best you can. If your world is ending and the only job that is offered to you is a Goodwill job, do not, under any circumstances, take that job. Do not do that to yourself. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I also want to make it very, very clear. I love the people I worked with. I want to make that abundantly clear. I hate the top of the food chain, not the people that I worked in the store with. We had a couple of bad eggs, but it was more entertaining. I was more entertained. Well, okay, towards the end it was a little rough. But for the most part, okay, I adored the people I work with. I still have their numbers. I adore them now. I love them. There are times that I still want to go in just to say hi to them. I just don't want to go into Goodwill because I don't like it. It was so bad. Don't even get me started on the manual overtime when everybody started leaving. Now that was a management issue in store. We lost 2 managers in 2 weeks. We lost 3 cashiers in about a month. And then we all started working. Oh, and then we lost someone out in donations who worked the donation trailer. We lost someone there. And then they left. They didn't die. So then we all had to start working mandatory overtime, which, when that started happening, that's a whole story in and of itself. All I'm going to say is I signed up to work overtime for a couple weeks until everything got sorted out. 2 months later, we were all still working overtime. That's a whole other story time. If people find this entertaining enough, I'll do a whole other list of problems. Also, let me tell you, there's some customers I could make story times on just them alone. I'm talking regulars. They were regulars, but they came in almost every single day, and they acted like you dragged them in there with a gun to their head and forced them to be there every day. Now, to be fair, one of the ladies had a genuine shopping addiction, and it was kind of sad, and so I could understand why she was a little upset about it. I'm just baffled by people, and I hope to never return to corporate America ever again. But I have my Etsy page. It'll be down in the description. There'll be a link in the description if you want to help a girl out so I don't have to return to corporate America. But again, you don't have to. I'm not going to force you to pay for my livelihood of eating pizza and sitting in the kitchen and ranting But I mean, hey, if you find this entertaining, hey, that's great. If you want a part 2, that's also great. Will I make a part 2 regardless? Probably. But if you want to just see me sit and cosplay, eat pizza, and just rant about my time at Goodwill, I will. I will. I'll keep you entertained. I'll see you in the next video. So, cheers! Have a great... I don't know how to do an outro.